Sometimes you gotta look life right in the eye and say, life, I see what you're doing and I don't like it, but I understand. Damn it, do I understand? And at this point in the world, that's what we gotta start doing with WrestleMania. The showcase of the Immortals in 2017 isn't the event it used to be. Back in the day, long-term storylines and feuds would culminate here. While that still happens, it's rarely these days in the main event. And that's because as of this moment, WrestleMania just isn't for us hardcore fans anymore. Why? Here's why. Now, this one is actually quite straightforward, but let's break it down anyway, because I enjoy our time together, and I know that you enjoy our time together as well. WrestleMania these days is a pop culture event. Now, I know that makes me sound like I'm working for WWE's marketing department, but it's true. They can go somewhere for a week, make obscene amounts of cash, run loads of shows, and basically change the entire dynamic of a location. That's what a pop culture event does. It moves in and it takes over. I don't mean NXT takeover, I mean the WWE takes over. Obviously, a large reason these shows are able to pack out these giant arenas is because of us. We're the people that will moan about Raw until our teeth bleed, but then realise it's Monday night and sit down and watch Monday Night Raw, and then Tuesday we'll moan about it till our teeth bleed. But we're invested, we're tied down, and if an arena seat needs an ass putting in it, we will plonk our ass in it and sit there. The thing is, WrestleMania also attracts a different kind of fan. It attracts the fan who will probably dip their toe in around Royal Rumble, quite enjoy what they see, and then just hang around until WrestleMania. That's all they need. That's enough for them. But it's exactly this increase in viewership that WWE wants to grab, and WWE wants to make sure it locks down, even if it is just for that 4-month period. In fact, they crave it. I'm not going to stand here and pretend I understand or know anything about WWE's financials, but I bet that when you get to the January to April bit, everyone involved goes, the line better go like that, otherwise something's gone terribly wrong. Why? Because it's their biggest time of the year, and as such, all the shareholders will expect to see a bigger return than they would at any other point in a 12-month cycle. Does it suck that these people have to be appeased? Maybe, but I wouldn't worry about it too much because wrestling is a business. We all know that. All wrestlers go on about that all the time. So if it is a business, then money is pretty damn important. But it does make this returning fan worth their weight in gold. That is the extra revenue that WWE counts on. Even if at the moment they are desperate to give WrestleMania 33 away for free, but that is another story for another time. The point is, WWE wants to get this fan, it wants to hook them in and make sure they stay around for a few weeks or a few months. And that's what I mean when I say it's not for us anymore. Because we're watching, even if they announce it's a fish versus a panda. And then we'll moan when the fish goes over, because how could we possibly believe that a fish could survive that long out of the water? I didn't ask for this fish. I don't want this fish being pushed down my throat anymore. That panda worked the indie circuit and it deserves more respect. Okay, back on topic. It was a shame in the way that Kevin Owens did lose his title at Fastlane. He's been a great champion and it probably could have gone better for him. But believe you me, the fans I've just chatted about will be much more enthused about Bill Goldberg, mostly because of the nostalgia it brings up, than Kevin Owens. And that's not a knock on KO. If they did hang around, they'd quickly realise that he's one of the most talented wrestlers in years, because he's one of the most talented wrestlers in years. I don't know why I do that. I do that a lot. I make a point, and the way I prove that point is by saying it again. That's a waste of breath. But they want this rush of adrenaline from seeing the old stars, mostly because not only does it make them feel young again, but it also makes them feel like they haven't missed anything. They remember that guy, and especially with Goldberg, when he's doing the same thing that he was doing 15 years ago, they feel plugged in. They feel like they're up to speed. They can watch and enjoy the show. That's why Brock Lesnar is also the perfect opponent. They probably know who he is because of his crossover appeal in the UFC, and if they are this casual fan, they probably remember him as the guy that beat The Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania 30. Ipso facto, the barrier to entry with this main event is super low, and that just makes it more accessible, meaning more people can watch it and enjoy it. When all this happens, sure, amazing programs such as Chris Jericho versus Owens do get pushed down the card. But if I had told you 5 years ago that at WrestleMania, Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens for the US title was going to happen, I would have been laughed out the building, had I been in the building at the time. So really, I just want to enjoy it for what it is. I'm happy we've arrived at this point where that can even be at a WrestleMania. That doesn't necessarily make up for some of the quibbles I've mentioned, but it is a nice way to look at it, and it's representative of the situation that we're faced with. It's why WWE will go after celebrities for the show and just try and get as much mainstream media as possible. If old stars from the past are a way to do that, may as well do it. There's other evidence to support this, such as some of the main events we've had over the last few years. We had Roman Reigns versus Triple H, the returning star. We had Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, the crossover star. We had The Rock versus John Cena, and The Rock is the biggest movie star on the planet. You can see a pattern emerging here, and that is very deliberate. So while it can be hard to see all this go down, because we're actually near the end of the video, I'm just going to let it be known that I actually quite like all this hoopla and pageantry. Gets me all excited. Also remember, it's just a time where things shift a bit, and if you can enjoy it, you should try and enjoy it, because pro wrestling is there to be enjoyed. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this, and then like, share, and subscribe. You can even come follow me on Twitter at SimonMiller316. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and after this video I'm gonna hide, but thanks for joining me anyway. You've just been wide.